We break through the stupid, the cancel, the moronic, and then other media are safe to follow. What have we been saying forever? Selective racism in the WNBA sucks. It does. It sucks, and it's about time. It's about time we're not the only ones saying it.
Game, Shannon. 22.5 points per game on 46% shooting, 11.4 assists per game. They've won 4 of their last 5, and now the Indiana Fever are 7th place overall and in playoff positioning. Caitlin Clark is real. She's coming, and I still contend she should have been on Team USA, Shannon. You saw the attendance for Team USA compared to everybody else. If she was on that team, that wouldn't have been a problem. I stand by my position from day one.
BG, right now you have 10 points, 5 rebounds. We see the Atlanta Dream as being very... Right now she's talking to the refs about holding. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Very important questions there, I'm sure, for Brittney Griner. She said sorry.
Following Brittney Griner's latest and heavily censored misconduct during the Indiana Fever game, the WNBA appears desperate to bury the story. Despite ongoing attempts to suppress coverage and silence criticism, particularly around Griner's racist remarks, fans have unleashed a wave of online outrage. The double standards are glaring, and the backlash is mounting, with many now calling for her immediate suspension. Podcast hosts weighing in on the firestorm described the situation as deeply troubling. Just as Angel Reese seemed poised for a career-defining spotlight, it all unraveled. The moment fans realized Caitlin Clark wasn't playing, ticket prices plummeted by over 76% once again, and public interest in Reese evaporated almost instantly. Meanwhile, the WNBA's refusal to hold Griner accountable is clearly backfiring. Fans are rapidly disengaging, and Nike's decision not to market Caitlin Clark has only added fuel to the controversy. The dam has broken, and the league's credibility is taking heavy fire for its blatant double standards.
Guess who is our compadre? Skip Bayless. He's come out of the clouds of the ether. Selective racism in the WNBA sucks. The league would not be okay with a white player saying effing black girl. He ain't wrong. The WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism in our league. Brittney Griner and all these other clowns are jealous as hell that the little white girl's kicking their ass.
On June 10th, 2025, a rapid-fire social media update trumpeted by Skip Biss blasted selective racism in the WNBA. He replayed the trash fucking white girl clip, noting the league has no place for hate banners, but no tolerance for slurs against black women. He pointed out that centuries of locker room jabs and white boys can't jump, white girls can't shoot are casually accepted among men's and teenage circles. Yet when Brittney Griner said it on broadcast, the WNBA shrugged. Biss said it's a jealous backlash against Caitlin Clark's record-breaking rookie poll. 17,035 fans at home, 15,204 on the road, a 319% attendance bump. Griner's slur, Biss argued,
we break
was born
through
from
the
league-wide
stupid,
envy.
The cancel, the moronic, and then other media are safe to follow. What have we been saying forever? Selective racism in the WNBA sucks. It does. It sucks, and it's about time. It's about time we're not the only ones saying it.
He urged the WNBA to hold its black and LGBT stars to the same standard they demand from fans. If a white player called a trash black girl, they'd torch City Hall for a week, he said. But when a black player says fucking white woman, meh, business as usual. The public, Biz noted, expects leagues to enforce zero tolerance equally. Fans should demand an apology from Griner, Angel Reese, and the WNBA leadership for broadcasting real slurs while producing costly anti-hate PSAs that skip player behavior.
The WNBA has come out numerous times. There's no place for hate. There's no place for racism in our league. Oh, what? It went from she didn't say that to, well, it's not racist to who cares. All without an investigation. And all of us here in Indy were saying, wait, we get painted as racist by this psychopath, Angel Reese, damn near every time her and her psychotic teammates come to town. And then we got to hear, oh, we want a safe place. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Social feeds exploded. People said the league would never let a white player off. Griner is a traitor. Clark should go to Europe. And double standards sucks. A senator's demand for apologies from the Fever echoed across forums. Comments insisted on fines and suspensions or threats of lawsuits. People cheered Biz's unsparing tone and called on every franchise to stand against any hate, regardless of color or gender. They warned that silent leagues lose fans and credibility. In a swift wrap-up, Biz demanded Nuts from the Fever and the WNBA admit mistakes, penalize every racist slur, and protect both white and black women equally. He closed with a rally cry, "Speak up or stick up for silence," and watch the WNBA fade out faster than its empty stands.
The U.S. gave up an arms dealer that they had in custody for 14 years that's been in prison for the last 11 years. That's who the U.S. gave up.
It is what it is, which was a political snatch of our athlete. Detaining for...
In the latest twist from the WNBA, controversy erupted after footage resurfaced of Brittney Griner mouthing what appeared to be the phrase "fucking white girl" following her 6th foul. The clip spread quickly, reigniting a firestorm over what many are calling a blatant double standard in professional women's basketball. Griner's team, the Desert Wings, faced no disciplinary action. That's despite the league's high-profile No Space for Hate campaign and past investigations into fan behavior, many of which turned up no actual incidents of racism. But here, a player seemingly caught on camera using a racial slur, not even a slap on the wrist. Online reaction was swift and scathing. Some fans joked they paid just $13.47 for what felt like a clearance sale crowd, pointing to the growing disconnect between the league's messaging and its handling of actual misconduct. Many noted the hypocrisy. A white player uttering "fucking black girl" would almost certainly face a suspension, if not worse. On June 8, 2025, Skip Bayless opened his show by noting no statement from the WNBA about Brittney Griner's bench outburst. He replayed the clip. Griner, after her 6th foul, apparently muttered "fucking white girl." He admitted he's not a lip reader, but the last word looked like girl, not whack call. He replayed that clip so many times he joked he might need new tape. Skip stressed Griner fouled out on a hard-hit foul called on Natasha Howard, not Caitlin Clark. He noted post-game hugs between Griner and Clark, so this wasn't personal hate against Clark.
Jamel said Griner actually said "fucking whack call," and that could be the case. I'm not a lip reader. But it sure looks to me like the last word is girl, not call. Tell me I'm wrong. So Griner didn't commit her 6th foul on Caitlin Clark. It was actually on Natasha Howard. And I have seen the pre- and post-game video of Griner shaking hands with Caitlin Clark and even giving Caitlin Clark a quick hug. So I'm not making the case Brittney Griner personally hates Caitlin Clark. Now, it's also possible Brittney Griner was talking about a female white referee, though I'm not completely sure she'd call a ref a girl. Wouldn't she say white lady, white woman?
He wondered if white girl was about a white referee or Clark's league-leading popularity. Skip pointed out that white woman or white lady felt more likely for a ref. He said Griner might have been venting at the league's push to protect Clark for ticket sales and MVP press. Skip recalled fans paying $13.47 to see a Fever game, cheaper than stadium garlic fries, yet cameras caught an actual racist slur from a player. He contrasted that with how the WNBA leapt on unsubstantiated fan allegations of monkey noises at Angel Reese, launching full investigations while real slurs from its own black star went unpunished. He argued that if a white player had said "fucking black girl," the league would suspend her for weeks or cancel her career. Social chatter backed him up. People said Griner was lucky to stay in the league, fans felt betrayed by double standards, and some vowed to boycott until Griner faced consequences. Others called it black fatigue, noting a pattern of selective outrage. One post argued the WNBA loses millions and resents Clark's draw, so they let internal racism slide. Skip also aired reactions from the Indiana State Senate, where lawmakers demanded apologies from Angel Reese, the Fever, and the WNBA for false fan racism claims. He said the Fever owed fans an apology for the hurt and disappointment of baseless charges. Viewers agreed that if Griner's slur was true, the league should demand Griner apologize to fans and show that no space for hate really means every hate, not just certain kind. Throughout, Skip injected tiny bits of humor, comparing the hush around Griner to a nothing burger and imagining white fans as hooers, a playful riff on hooyars. He criticized the WNBA's silence, called out Griner's failure to comment, and taped final pleas. treat all slurs as slurs, Iraqi or Irish, white or black, and hold every player to the same standard. He closed by noting that fans would keep watching for Caitlin Clark, not internal league drama, and hinted he'd tune back in once the league showed it cared as much about white players as black. On June 9, 2025, a heated sports culture debate erupted over Brittney Griner's leaked Instagram chess clip, Sydney talk show hosts bickering over trash white girl and men in women's sports. At a panel discussion, a veteran host showed Griner's bare chest video from 2 years ago. No visible scars, he noted, and AI detectors failed to flag it as female nudity, so it stayed up for 109 weeks. People said it looked like a teenage boy's chest, not a woman's. He read aloud a viral post. Griner is a cis, straight man forced to live as a girl by his mother. All paperwork and team rosters were female. In Russia, they treated him as a man, so he landed in a man's prison until swapped for an arms dealer. Viewers said the WNBA buried the story because admitting it would spark outrage, blackmail, lawsuits, and a Netflix doc. Fans demanded DNA tests and an official league investigation to clear doubts. Some joked about a TNBA for transgender athletes. A sideline report clip then showed Griner pushing away to scold a referee on camera. A pundit called it more entertaining than any in-game interview pop and praised her authenticity. But people countered. If a man in the NBA shoved a ref like that, we'd call it violent, and when women behave like men, it's news. They lamented how the WNBA tries to polish its image, yet stars get away with antics that would end a man's career. Panelists debated fairness. One said college sports funded by taxpayers require biologically fair competition, while private leagues can set any rules. Another said men forcing their way into women's realms isn't a big deal because sports is optional, but real fans worry about hurting female athletes' chances and scholarships. They agreed private leagues can experiment, but college sports needs integrity. They imagined hypothetical fights, a post-transitioned male boxer against a transitioned female wrestler, calling it Roman blood sport or mixed martial empathy. Some argued, trans just want women's leagues, not vice versa, so perhaps a separate transgender division makes sense. Others cited Blair White's view that transgender sport should stand alone. One host lamented how 82-game NBA seasons water down fans' passion, while 44-game WNBA seasons hype every contest, yet still leave viewers cold.
Maybe Michael Jordan, when he played the Detroit Pistons, maybe at the prime of Michael Jordan, was he roughed up in the way that Caitlin Clark is being roughed up. But the physical wear and tear on Caitlin Clark, I'm not surprised that 2 weeks into the season, she's already got an injury.
Well, Jason, you talk about the relative slow start of that team. They added a lot of parts. And what are we, 3, 4, 5 games in? It's still very early in the process. But I'll take the flip side of that statement, Jason. That's the highest compliment you can give Caitlin Clark. And if the players are going to play within the rules, I think that's fair game. And Confucius says all the time, the standards you set for somebody is what you really think. So by that standard, this league and its players know how good Caitlin Clark is. And the true test of greatness for her is, can she find a way to adapt? That's probably going to be the most interesting part of this journey here in season number 2.
Audience voices chimed in. Griner must face penalties or stay in Russia. Black fatigue is real. Men shouldn't be in girls' sports, and Clark should go to Europe. Comments noted that no scars on Griner's chest and the irony of a black leaguer calling fucking white girl without sack time. People urged leagues to enforce consistent rules for every race and gender. They called for leagues to protect fairness, not fumble accountability. Through it all, the hosts agreed. Selective enforcement and silence on transgender and racial slurs will sink leagues faster than athlete injuries. Fans crave clear rules, honest debate, and equal standards. Without that, they'll drop subscriptions, tune out broadcasts, and leave packed arenas to echo emptiness. That truth, they testified, could be the league's final whistle.